Hello and welcome to this special event hosted by G Suite Tips in conjunction with Refractive. Thanks for joining us today. We'll be looking at two Appogee HR products, which are exciting options for any G Suite user, and particularly when anybody with a focus on HR within their organization. As I said, we're looking at two products, and these products help organizations manage and improve the efficiency of their HR process, as we'll see throughout the session today. My name is Sean Power, and we have on the call Charlotte and Megan as well from Appogee HR, and they'll be showing you the products as we progress through the session. So this is our agenda for today. We'll give a quick overview of the two Appogee HR products, just so you can get a general overview of them. And we'll also discuss the integrations available with these tools. And we've got some particularly exciting news this week for G Suite users, so we'll come into that later. And then we'll hand over for the demonstration. And the majority of the session today will be focused on that demonstration, just so you can see the products in action, see what they can do, and try and relate it to your operation and your HR function. So on your YouTube screen, top right-hand corner, there is a question box. So feel free to pop any questions that you have in there throughout the session. We'll answer them at the end of the session. We've got a schedule, a slot in the schedule to do that. And any we don't get a chance to do so, we'll answer after the session today. So we've scheduled 30 minutes for today's call. And that includes the demonstration and some background information, and also the Q&A. So we do have plenty to get through to, so I'll make a start. There are two products in particular which we're discussing today, HR and Leave, both from the Appogee HR team. There is a little bit of crossover between those products, but we'll look at those individually. And the fact that they are intrinsically linked and together helps us understand what they can do for us as an organization. And they cover a range of HR functions, as you will see later. So both these tools are tightly integrated with G Suite, and therefore ideal for any organization using this suite of services, as I think most people on the call today will be. So the first product that we'll look at is Appogee HR. This provides you with an easy-to-use online HR management system for employee records and compliance management. It provides role-based access to keep your employee information private, and also provides controlled self-service access to your staff members. And it includes the modules shown here and offers G Suite users an excellent means of managing the HR documentation and the workflow process contained within that. And we'll get a good look at that as we go through the demonstration. But essentially, it's a centralized area to hold your staff information and allow them to access that information in a self-service function. The second product, as I said, is tightly aligned, Appogee Leave. It's an online absence management system, and it provides a simple way for staff to submit leave requests and for managers to approve those requests. So employees can keep track of allowances, whilst management and HR are able to report on kind of all forms of absence and plan for time off and staff attendance. So it just simplifies this process. And it's one of the most complicated processes for most organizations, particularly those with large numbers of staff. And this tool just makes that process a breeze. And again, as you see within the demonstration. So both the products that you'll see today have tight integration with G Suite. They've also got integration with Office 365, Xero accounting, as you can see, and Google Hire. If you've not seen Google Hire, then it's Google's applicant tracking system, which allows you to use your G Suite functionality to increase efficiency and speed within the applicant process. So we often get asked this question, why is this integration with other Google products important for G Suite users? Well, it not only does it allow users to sign into the applications using their Google credentials, which makes it much easier for them. They don't have to remember additional passwords, etc. But it also allows for features such as user provisioning, automatic out of office settings, and use of Google Drive for document storage, etc. So if your organizations approve the security processes within G Suite, then just means that you can use these two products automatically within your environment without seeking approval. So G Suite users can be assured that the product will maintain these close links with Google, even with the changes and improvements made to G Suite as it improves over time. So again, it just makes the whole process easier for you to manage within your environment. Okay, I'm going to hand over to Charlotte at Appogee HR now to show you what these two products can do. And again, as you watch in the demonstration, if you can try to bear in mind how you do things at the moment and how that can be improved using these tools. So I'll hand over to Charlotte.
Okay, thank you, Sean. So hopefully you are able to see my screen now. So this is Appogee HR. The solution provides you with an easy and simple way to manage your employee information, records, contracts, company documents and policies, leave requests and goals. So just to explain a little bit more around the package options before we get started. So Appogee HR has 3 different options. So we do sell Appogee Leave as a standalone absence solution. So you can purchase just that without the other HR functionality. And we also have 2 versions of Appogee HR, the Essentials Pack and the Appogee HR Success Pack. So Success is absolutely everything. Our Essentials package is all of Appogee Leave and our core HR processes. So what I'm going to show you today is our Success package, and I will try and explain where the differences are as we walk through. So for the purpose of the demo, I'm logged in as a user with all roles. So I have full visibility to all employee information and also all functions within Appogee HR. Just so you're aware, we do support user roles for employee, HR manager, admin, and team manager, as well as some optional customizable access roles for IT, payroll, and HR assistant. So just starting with the dashboard. So every employee, regardless of their role, will have a dashboard. And depending on what access you have, you'll see a difference in the widgets that are available to you. So the dashboard is divided into 3 sections. Within your actions, you will see anything that requires your attention. This could be leave or sickness approvals, which can be easily addressed from here in just a click. You'll see any pending goal approvals or any company policies or checklists that may have been assigned to you in order for you to acknowledge or address and complete those checklists. So the team section will show a user an overview of what is happening within your team. So managers can see any outstanding HR actions within their team. This could be pending acknowledgement requests. It could be kind of accept this health and safety policy, or it may be a particular checklist that they need to complete. Managers are also able to see where their employees are at with leave for the year. So what they've got booked, what they've still got left to book, and what their overall allowance is. So you're able to chase them up on that. And all employees have access to this Who's Off widget here, which just gives you a quick insight into who in your team is off at any given month, or you can drill down to a week for that. So all employees will have the My Summary section, and here they will have access to their leave year calendar. And from here, a user can make a leave request in just a simple click. And they can also see what they've got booked for the year already, and then an overview of what their allowance is for the year and what they've still got pending or that needs to be booked. So I'm just waiting for Hangouts to catch up with me there. I think it might be a little behind. So the employees will also have access to any notifications, which could be reminders about certain dates. It could be letting them know that a checklist of particular interest to them has been completed. And these notifications can be configured by each company to keep employees in the loop around certain updates or changes. So just moving on to the directory, this is available across all of our products as well. So you'll have access to the directory there. So Appogee HR has a full employee directory. And if I just change that just to all teams so you can see that. And it just provides the key contact information that any employee may need to get in touch with somebody else. And we also support an org chart as well. And the org chart will display all employees in teams, showing you a clear view of which parent team they sit under and the employees that are within that team. So our team section here shows a little in-depth view of who is in what team, and then a little bit of information about those employees as well. So it's just a nice to have feature. It has a little bio in there, so you learn a little bit more about the staff that build up that team, and then also showing you what role they're in and how long they've been in that role. So it's a really nice to have area that's useful for staff. So just moving on to our company docs section. So the company docs area provides you with a place to upload any policies that you have, any templates, letterheads, or other documentation that you may wish to share across the business. Policies can be shared with acknowledgement requests as well to keep you up to date with who has or hasn't accepted certain documentation. So that's great for things like a new health and safety policy. You can share it with everybody and make sure everyone's confirmed that they have read that. So documents can be uploaded as a file or attachment. They could be a link to something you store within Drive or also a note. And we do also have a Drive picker to allow you to select docs that you hold already within Google Drive. So just moving on to the profile section. So every employee on Appogee HR will have access to these profile menu options down this section of the menu. If you do have Appogee HR Success, then you will have this goals option here. And if you go with Appogee Leave, then you would only have the options in this area available to you on that second level menu there. So that's just part of our standalone leave solution. So the employee profile is made up of different HR processes. Each one consists of categories, subcategories, fields, and records. And these are all configurable. We have a core set of fields in our initial data, but these can be deleted, moved, or added to in order to suit your business. And you can also set the security at the field level to provide different access for the employee, manager, HR manager, or any of the optional access roles if you use them. This can be useful if, for example, you did set up a payroll admin. You may want to provide them with access to bank details for each employee, but obviously you'd want to hide the rest of the employee profile as to make sure that you don't expose sensitive information such as performance reviews or sensitive employment details. So just moving down to the employment area. As you can see, each section is made up of the same category and field structure, and each one has the associated fields area. So under employment, you can see here this employee has a CV uploaded, an employment contract, and some interview notes. And if I go on to right to work, you can see there's a passport scan uploaded under that section. So Appogee HR also supports tables within the profile. So some data is better represented in a table than just a field structure. So we have that flexibility to set that up where required. So just moving now into leave. So all Appogee HR customers would have the leave module, but as mentioned, you can purchase this as standalone as well. So the leave section provides you with your year at a glance view, similar to the dashboard, and it will show you where you're at with the year, what's been booked and when, and also an overview of what your allowance is. So from here, you can go into a little bit more information. You can have an overview of your request history, anything that's been rejected. It would all sit here and build kind of one picture, one source of truth for yourself and your manager to view. You can also see if any attachments have been assigned to any of your requests. So this could be like the example there where we have a doctor's note. But it may also be if you did jury service, you'd have an invitation letter that you may need to show the company as well. So any kind of attachments related to leave or sickness requests would appear in here and also be attached to that request. So just moving into allowances. Allowance can be built up from a few different places. So you can just have your standard annual allowance, or it may be that this is also built up of time off in lieu if your company support that. Or potential carryover from the previous year. So there's lots of different configurable options to make sure that you shape the system to suit your leave policies. So each employee also has access to a team calendar. And you can see here it filters just to a particular team. And then if you have access to other teams, then you're able to search through those. And it just shows you anybody that has any leave booked on certain days. So if you are integrated with G Suite, these leave requests will go straight into your Google Calendar as well, which is really, really useful tool. And we also support Google Team Calendars as well. So if you currently use those, then you can integrate those and the leave will pull through, which is really useful. So just moving down to goals. So goals is part of our HR success package. So goals fully supports the objectives and key results, which is OKR methodology for goal tracking. And it's used by companies such as Google, Intel, and LinkedIn. So goals help make sure that your employees are aligned and working towards the same core company objectives. So the OKR method suggests that you'll set up a series of company, team, and personal goals across the company. And these goals can be tracked within Appogee HR, and you can be kept up to date with the progress of each goal and the key results that are assigned to each. So if I open up one of the goals for the sales team here, you can easily see the overall progress of the goal. You can see who the goal is shared with, who the goal belongs to, and the time frame associated with it. You can also clearly see where this goal fits in the organization. So you can see that it's aligning to a company goal, and then it is further supported by 2 employees within the sales team. You can also see the key results that build up this goal, and the progress on these key results will initiate the overall progress of the goal. And then any tasks or initiatives that have been assigned to this goal can be updated in here, and the progress can be tracked and keep track of. So we also have a timeline for each goal, and this will show any progress, any updates to key results. You can also have check-ins. So if a comment just needs to be made that you had a meeting to discuss, or a one-to-one was handled at this time. It also gives the ability for employees to shout out other employees. So you can see a few examples there around an employee providing some good progress feedback. And that's all held then within the goal, and then can further support that goal when it gets to performance review time. So the alignment chart shows exactly where goals fit into the company. So we've just got quite a small set here as an example. But you can see exactly where this team goal fits into the larger company goal, and then the employee goals move into that. So having this visibility is key to motivating the employee, as it shows how they are impacting the wider business. And it's great for the senior team to assess the impact of every employee and what the impact they're having on the company's success, and also be able to continuously track that progress at every level. So goals can be kept up to date in Appogee HR and then obviously reviewed at regular one-to-ones or annual reviews and really fit into how your organisation wants to manage that process. So just moving into reporting. So Appogee HR has reporting sections for both HR and leave. The HR reporting provides a full view of all fields that you have in your own configuration. So this will match whatever you set up. And you have the ability from here to create and save reports based on what you need to know. So if we just do a sample report just to show you. So if I wanted to run a report to show me anybody that has a performance review due in the next 2 months, I could just go into my performance category, select my next performance review date field. And then when I move down to my filters, I can look at within the next, assign 2 months there and add that filter. And then it will build that report for me straight away. So once I've got the report here, I can sort further, by date, if I want to do it by name, and I've got the data that I wanted. So this report can then be saved and even scheduled to run at specific times and actually email you a copy of that report to save you logging in to view any updates or changes. So underneath our Appogee HR reporting, we also have a concept of HR notifications. So these can be set up to notify you of changes to employee information, such as maybe notifying a payroll admin of bank details changing to allow them time to update that before the payroll run. And it could also do things like remind you that a working visa is due to expire. So you are able to set up a whole host of notifications to automate the system for you as much as required. So our leave reporting is slightly different and provides you with a series of customizable charts. So if I just move now just to a leave chart. Here through the different charts, you can look at visual representations of leave across the business. And we also provide a full export tool to allow you to get information out. So I just want to touch on onboarding as well. So I'm just going to change to another tab. So Appogee HR does have a full onboarding portal to make bringing on new starters a great experience for both that new joiner, but also for the HR team and the manager. So our onboarding module provides access to the employee prior to their start date. So if I just move into this new joiner that we've got here, and then I will just click to preview that onboarding portal so I can show you. So here we have the onboarding portal for this new employee, Harry. So this allows this new employee to have limited access to some functionality before they join, and this is completely configurable, so you can choose exactly what you want to appear here. But it does allow you to set a welcome message from the company. This can be a standard message you send to all employees if you wish, and then you can also remind them, obviously, of their start date. A bit of information can be given to that new starter about their first day and what to expect. And there can also be a personalised message from their manager with the ability to ask questions if they have any. You can provide a map as well of where they're headed on their first day. That could be their office, or it may be that you have a different location, like a client office for their first day. And there's also a meet your colleagues section down here where they can click through and see any employees that they're going to be working with and a little bit of information around their bio. So you can also give them the option to upload their profile picture. You can expose some access to profile fields to get information before they start. You can give them the option to upload employee records or to view company policies before their start date, as well as pre-book any leave. And if you are using higher by Google as well, then the integration with Appogee HR is really simple, and you would be able to bring somebody across from within Hire straight into Appogee HR and then enable the onboarding portal. The onboarding portal, however, is available to all HR customers, and it is part of our product rather than kind of part of the Hire process. So that's the end of the demo today. I'm just going to pass back to Sean, and if there are any questions at all, then we can cover those off.
Great, thanks, Charlotte. That's a really good overview. It's interesting to see that the products that we're talking about serve such a fundamental process within an organization, and yet it handles so elegantly and so simply that it appears to be something that is easy to replicate. And we know, because we've worked with these guys for some time, it's definitely not the case. So a couple of things. What kind of talking how about how do you continue your investigation of the services? Well, you've got some options on that side. You can have a 14-day trial of the products, and that's how you can get to see in detail. You can get to understand how they will work for your organization, and we include some details of that in the trial and in the email which comes out. You can also arrange a personal consultation to answer any specific questions you may have, particularly if you have some complex requirements or large numbers of users. We can continue the conversation that way. And you can also follow G Suite tips and Appogee HR to see further product updates and developments with the tools. And again, details will be in the email. But however you continue your investigation, you can always contact us, and we'll be happy to answer any questions you may have, specifically about requirements that you have or functionality within the products. So we've got a couple of questions, if I can bring you back in, Charlotte. One of them was, how do I install Appogee HR? Okay, so you can find Appogee HR in the G Suite marketplace. So it's very simple to install from there. So I'd recommend that as a first point of call. You can also set up a trial directly from our website, and then you can integrate at a later date if you would rather do that. So there's a couple of options there. Great, and as I said, we'll include some details of that in the follow-up email. And then just a question from John, do you provide an API? Yes, we do have an API. So the API allows for users to have some abilities around leave requests. We are always working on the API as well, so it'd be great if John can get in touch with either yourself or us, let us know the specific requirements, and we can go from there in that discussion. But we do offer an API. That's great. And Paul has just asked the question, what do you consider large numbers? I think, is this in relation to the personal consultation, Paula? To be honest, if you've got any questions that haven't been answered today, we're happy to set up that one-to-one consultation with you. So regardless of the number of users that you have, then we're happy to have that conversation with you. Perhaps it might be worth just talking about the typical size of user base. Charlotte, how many employees, some big names who are using your tools, that might be useful at this point. Yeah, sure. We have customers from kind of under 10 employees right up to our larger customers sit at just under around 1,500. So we do have quite a wide range of customer sizes. Some big names that we do have. So we work with First Group. We also work with Space 8 Games, SurveyMonkey, Demonware. We do also have a series of customers on our website and some case studies on there if anyone would be interested in having a look there. That's great, useful background information. Thanks for attending today. It's been really good to show you what the products can do. And as I said, it solves an interesting problem within an organization. And it's very simple method of solving that problem. So thank you everybody for attending. As I mentioned, we'll follow up with an email with details. We'll have a recording of this session. So if you get bored, you can review it or share it with your colleagues. And we'll also have some details in there. And if there's anybody who wants to continue the conversation, then happy to receive feedback from you, and we'll set up those one-to-one conversations with you. So I thank you for your time. Thank you.
Thank you.